About 15 minutes to the top of the hour here, and it's time to make sense of some of those health stories you might be seeing online that are sparking your curiosity. This morning, we have a few questions ourselves for our twin doctors, Idris and Jamil Abdur-Rahman, also known as Dr. I and Dr. J. Hey, guys, I wish you were here, but I'll take you virtually rather than not at all. Let's get straight to it, because I have a lot I want to ask you this morning. True or false? Eating large amounts of junk food as a teenager can lower a person's risk for dementia as an adult. And I am going to say that that is false. Sounds false.
Yeah, that's false. And as someone who ate a lot of junk food as a teenager, I wish it were true, but it is completely false. And so it's actually really interesting. We're seeing a lot of research now that is finding that there is an entity called type 3 diabetes. So we've all heard of type 1, type 2. Now there's an entity called type 3. And basically what type 3 diabetes is dementia that results from dietary indiscretions. So people who eat a lot of sugar, a lot of fats, who end up having insulin resistance, they have elevated levels of insulin resistance in the brain, which leads to damage of the neurons, which then leads to changes that can lead to dementia. And so, unfortunately, the more junk food you eat in general, especially as a teenager when the brain is developing and growing, the higher the risk of dementia.
Oh, boy. I think about all those fast food stops I made on those tennis tournaments all those years in high school. Okay, true or false? People who exercise right before bed live longer than people who exercise first thing in the morning. False? False? I hope it's false.
That is actually true. That is true. I'm sorry, that is true. I'm a morning exercise lover, so this hurts my heart, but that is actually true. So now the caveat is exercise in the morning, midday, evening, it's all good, okay? So exercise is good. But what they have found is that people who are overweight and obese, if they exercise in the evening hours between 6 o'clock and midnight, they have a lower rate of heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, stroke, all those things that we're trying to prevent with exercise. So yes, if you absolutely have to exercise during the evening, because I'm a morning exercise person, it actually is not a bad thing for you at all. But again, all exercise is good exercise, but if you're overweight and obese, evening exercise will reduce your risk of disease and even early death.
Okay, yeah, I have to do midday. I wake up at 1:30, I go to sleep at 5 p.m., so midday Peloton has been my thing, or actually walking lately.
Midday is your night.
Hey, Dr. I, true or false, you can get drunk without ever actually taking a sip of alcohol. False.
That's true.
What?
That's true.
How?
Yeah, it's actually true. So this is the deal. Some people have what's called auto brewery syndrome. And basically they have an overgrowth of yeast in their stomachs. And so when they eat carbohydrates, the yeast will metabolize the carbohydrates, turning it into alcohol. It then gets absorbed into the bloodstream. And so they get drunk. And there's actually been cases of people being pulled over for drunk driving who were convicted for drunk driving. And it turned out that auto brewery syndrome and it never had a drink.
And they had just had a baguette or a sandwich or something?
Any form of carbohydrate. Now, the good thing is it can be easily treated because it's just from that fungal overgrowth. You take antifungals, you avoid carbs for like a month and a half, you're good to go.
Oh, my gosh. I've never heard of that before.
Right?
Okay, teaching me something new every day. You know I have to end on my pregnancy question of the week. I'm less than 3 weeks out from getting induced. I know you're not psychologists, but y'all have talked me through a lot of things. I'm getting major anxiety, as we're getting closer to birth. Talk me through that. Is there anything I should pack to help me through, or mantras to keep telling to myself? I'm nervous.
Anxiety comes from the fear of the unknown, right? Anytime we're anxious, we're just afraid of the unknown. So it's preparation, preparation, preparation. I always recommend for people do those birthing classes, read pregnancy books, go tour the unit, go see the labor and delivery unit where you're going to be. The more familiar it is, the less anxiety you'll have. Also, just take things that are comfort for you. So take your robe, take your slippers, bring a diffuser so that you can have aromatherapy. Okay. Just things that make you feel more comfortable.
Okay. I've only taken one CPR class. So,
oh, no. You won't need that.
I gotta get on it, apparently. Thank you both, as always. I hope to see you in person before I head to the hospital.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
For
okay,
sure.
Guys, have a great day. To have your medical or health questions answered on our show by Dr. I and Dr. J, find them on social media at the Twin Doctors _ for more on their platform there.